It's a mixed feelings right now, just because of the times we're in, with the hate and ongoing attacks around different marginalized communities. So it's a very mixed emotion right now around Canada, in a sense of where we're going and where we're headed. On one hand, we're very proud of the inclusivity and inclusion around many different communities, cultures. On the other hand, we're very sad on our Indigenous history, and we're very sad on what's actually happening now around 2S LGBT community. So it's definitely a mixed feeling right now, because we're just so unsure of what's actually coming and where we're going right now with everything that's kind of happening around.
What are his thoughts on 2S LGBTQ plus progress the country has made?
So we are now a trans safe haven for anybody that's being persecuted for being transgender in any other country, which is a huge milestone for Canada. It's a very proud moment. I think that's a great step forward. There's lots of countries, over 60 countries around the world, it's illegal to be gay, and many of those countries are now, can still put you to death, life in prison, just for loving who you love. Like it's just a crazy thought that actually still happens in 2023.
Jason has been coast to coast. What are some of the places he'd like to visit again if he had the chance?
One of my, funny, I was just talking about this last week, about one of my greatest experiences was working in the Arctic region and meeting Inuit and Indigenous communities across northern Canada. And never once in any of those communities did anybody judge anybody for who they were or question who they were. And I was so taken away by, you were just allowed to be who you are instead of anybody questioning that. And they just accepted you. There was no questions, no comments, no nothing. It was just, if that's who you are, that's who you are. That was the whole attitude. And that, to me, was the most amazing experience I've ever experienced in my lifetime.
What does it mean to you when you say, I am Canadian?
Interesting question. You know what? I'm proud to be Canadian. I think we do things a lot of the right way. I think we've had our mistakes, and we're all learning from those mistakes, and we're making progress. And I think that's what makes it proud to be Canadian, because we're accepting the history of Canada and the mistakes we've done, although not at the pace everybody wants. But we've accepted that, we made mistakes with the Indigenous communities. We've made mistakes with the 2S LGBT community. Our Prime Minister has apologized and walked in a pride parade for the first time ever. So those kind of things are proud moments. So I think that learning from our mistakes and moving forward, while other countries are just engrossed in their mistakes and still in those mistakes and still creating those mistakes. Canadian as a whole, majority of Canadians are just, okay, we've made these mistakes, how do we do better? How do we make this right? How do we move forward in a way that is better for everybody, not just a few? And I think that's that's why I'm proud to be Canadian, because that's kind of the majority of people of where we are, of how do we do better for everybody?